MaxMara is about making clothes that enable women to feel they deserve respect, to make them feel powerful and in charge and in control. So the way we relate with the models that we work with is exactly the way that we communicate with the women that we want to dress. We want to give them the possibility of wearing clothes that make them feel good. And for me, the test of whether the collection works or not is whether when those girls walk out onto the runway and they seem to grow 3 centimeters taller.
So true.
They feel proud because
So
they're
true.
wearing clothes they feel comfortable with, and they feel strong. And that's what I want all women who try out clothes to feel like.
Which brings me to our capsule collection that we're so excited to have in Dubai with the opening of the store in Dubai Mall. I want to know a little bit more about the capsule and what were your main concerns or challenges when you were creating the capsule for the region?
Well, in reaching out to your region, we wanted to learn on the experience we've had working with Halima, because now it's been 3 or 4 seasons, and I've really learned from her what modest dressing can mean. So we didn't want to do a traditional abaya. We wanted to try and experiment with new ways of dressing. So from the look we did for her in
and this is the perks of being in the
you get to see the sketch first.
In the office of a creative director, you see the sketch first.
So you can see it's the idea of the pencil skirt and trousers in the same fabric, which is this beautiful logo stretch fabric. It's really comfortable to wear.
And
so
it's the same logo of the inner lining of the famous
famous lining of the coat, which is in silk. So the look is smart and powerful and modern. You're covered up, you're modestly dressed, but it's a new way of dressing. So it's experimenting with new ideas, because we want to reach out to a woman who is not afraid to embrace new ideas, respecting her own culture and traditions at the same time.
وها نحن نلتقي بحفيدة أكيلة ماراموتي ماريا جوليا ماراموتي للمرة الثانية بعد طوكيو. عن ماذا تحدثنا؟ تابعوا هذا اللقاء.
Can you tell us why did you choose Reggio Emilia to be the backdrop of the resort for this year?
Well, first of all, welcome back. It's really nice to see you here in Reggio Emilia. The reason why we wanted to kind of like, open the doors, if you will, to the public, to the press, and to what we like to call friends and family of MaxMara is really that for the past couple of years, as you know, we have kind of really brought the brand to some of like our market, which was strategically, becoming more and more important for us. As you said, when we met in Seoul, it was really by representing the retrospective of the history of MaxMara. And today, the idea was really to celebrate a very contemporary collection, which was the Spring-Summer 19 resort, but with a flavor of heritage, if you will.
The past, for sure.
And the reason for that was really to kind of like create a context, right, for everyone to have like a better and clearer understanding on what the DNA and the heritage, so to speak, of like MaxMara was, and how it could be read through the collection which walked the runway yesterday.
How difficult was it to sort of translate those codes from art to the world of fashion? Where do these worlds intersect, in your opinion?
I think that like the success of this collection was that it was extremely truth through the DNA of the brand, but yet it was very contemporary, because the risk sometimes is that you turn into a vintage mimical when you have this kind of approach. And I think that the success for Ian was really that it was so modern, so contemporary.
Definitely, the world of communication today has changed a lot since the past with the introduction of digital. And today you are putting on the platform a beautiful collection that is a retrospective to the past, but it's contemporary at the same time, using sort of different tools to speak to a different kind of clientele today. How challenging is that for the brand today, keeping in mind that the brand has to keep its values, but gain new, younger maybe clientele or different clientele from different backgrounds?
I think this is the challenge of today's business of fashion in a way, because especially when you come from like a company that has a goodwill which stands within the history, right, that you have built, but you need to evolve to cater and to speak to younger generations. The mistake that sometimes you make is that you tend to be too conservative in order not to lose, right, that the DNA. So I
and
think
provide the luxury experience at the same time.
Exactly. But today I think that in a way you have to be extremely focused on the contemporaneity of like the experience that you offer, because that's what a younger generation wants.
So true.
And also need to understand. And on the other hand, you really want to be true to your DNA. So I think that today the key is to have very clear in mind what your iconic message must be, both in terms of the categories of product that you want to cater towards the public, and very, if you will, pragmatic when it comes to the way you communicate it. You know, as you said, using a new form of communication, but always maintaining this substantiality, I think.
So true.
I think that the challenge for a fashion brand is always to be truly creative, but creativity comes from like a process. Creativity is a very serious concept, no? That it comes from thinking, it comes from like the time. And I think that as a fashion brand, sometimes you want not to be as fast as the market requires, you know? Because fast does not always necessarily mean good. I have two goals. One goal, which is the most important, is like to cater this message of like, you know, what my company is trying to achieve in terms of like dressing women and making them like look beautiful and confident through a very timeless style, right? And then the other one is to inspire younger generations of women of like really start being confident and know that through willpower and investing on yourself and hard work, the sky's the limit, and it really is, you know?